The middle ear is an air cavity that consists of the barrier to the outer ear. There are 2 openings, 2 windows, 3 small bones, 6 ligaments, 2 tendons, 2 muscles, and 2 nerves, which we have made 6 sides. This is also the right ear.
The superior wall is formed by a thin bony plate called the tegmen tympani. This separates the middle ear from the brain. Meninges are situated above the tegmen tympani. Meninges provide 3 layers of protection for the brain. The jugular vein is found in the inferior wall. The jugular bulb courses right underneath the middle ear space. It is separated from the middle ear space by a bony plate. The bulb drains from the tortuous sinus known as the sigmoid sinus. One pathology that can occur in the inferior wall is known as the glomus jugular tumor. This tumor can push against the tympanic membrane, adding mass, causing increased impedance. If the tumor is large enough, it can cause tinnitus, deafness, and even facial paralysis.
This is the posterior wall of the middle ear. Now let's take a look inside. We'll start with the adductus. That is a bony partition that's located between the tympanic cavity and the mastoid process. This opening can help regulate ear pressure, although the eustachian tube does that best. Whenever there is untreated otitis media, the mastoid can become infected, causing mastoiditis to take place. Now let's go over to the fossa inguinus. This is a small depression that is located underneath the adductus, and the purpose of this depression is to hold the short process of the incus and its suspensory ligament. After that, we have the pyramid of the stapedius canal, which is down there, and that houses the stapedius muscle and its tendon. And then we're gonna follow that up by down there, which is the bony eminence of chorda tympani, and that's the structure that stems out from the posterior wall into the middle ear.
The anterior wall has the eustachian tube opening to the nasopharynx. This tube equalizes pressure in the middle ear space and allows drainage if fluid buildup is present. The tensor tympani muscle originates from the cartilaginous part of the eustachian tube and is inserted into the neck of the malleus. The tensor tympani tenses the tympanic membrane and functions as an acoustic protector. Due to cranial nerve 5, also known as the trigeminal nerve, the tensor tympani contracts in response to non-auditory stimuli. The chorda tympani is a nerve that is part of cranial nerve 7, also known as the facial nerve. It crosses the middle ear space and exits out on through the anterior wall. It carries taste and pain fibers. On the posterior side of the anterior wall is the internal carotid artery, which supplies blood to the head.
The medial wall lies opposite the lateral wall. This wall includes the oval window, round window, promontory, lateral semicircular canal, facial nerve, and the tensor tympani muscle. The largest structure on the medial wall is called the promontory, otherwise known as the basal turn of the cochlea. It is a rounded, hollow prominence. Covering the promontory is the glossopharyngeal nerve, also known as the 9th cranial nerve. This nerve passes between the jugular vein, found in the inferior wall, and the carotid artery found on the anterior side of the anterior wall. If damage is caused to the glossopharyngeal nerve, this can affect your taste. The oval window is superior to the round window, which is a membrane-covered opening that leads from the middle ear to the vestibuli of the inner ear. The oval window is where sound enters the cochlea. It houses the footplate of the stapes, which is held in place via the annular ligament. The stapes moves in a rocking motion on the oval window, using mechanical energy in order to send vibrations to the cochlea. Posterior to the oval window is the round window, which is one of the 2 openings from the middle ear into the inner ear. The round window relieves pressure within the middle ear by vibrating. The lateral semicircular canal comes through the anterior portion of the posterior wall, running towards the medial wall and out. The semicircular canal is responsible for the vestibular imbalance. The internal carotid artery lies near the cochlea, and supplies blood to the middle ear. If damage occurs, it can cause tinnitus.
The lateral wall is home to the tympanic membrane. It serves as a barrier separating the outer and middle ear. The TM is oval and conical in shape. It consists of two parts, pars flasta, which is superior to pars tensa. The annular ligament is a fibrous and cartilaginous ring that serves as the rim of the TM. That attaches the TM also to the EAM. The TM's blood supply is wheel-like and is innervated by the tympanic plexus on the medial surface. The TM transforms the acoustic energy into mechanical energy. The TM transforms the acoustic energy into mechanical energy by attaching itself to the mandibrium of the malleus. The malleus is suspended in place by three ligaments. The malleus is attached to the articular faucet of the incus. The malleus and incus move together in one motion. The incus is held in place by two ligaments. The incus is then attached to the stapes. The stapes footplate is then attached to the oval window by the stapedial ligament, leading us into the aspects of the medial wall.